What if some of the best land deals in America are sitting in plain sight, and almost nobody wants them? Imagine finding a solid brick home on 5 acres for less than the price of a small suburban house, or owning 50 acres of private woodland, complete with a home, for less than many city condos. It sounds impossible in 2026, yet these properties are real, listed for sale, and in many cases have been waiting for months without serious buyers. But why? Is there something hidden beneath the surface? A major flaw nobody is talking about? Or is the market overlooking opportunities because of fear, assumptions, and changing financial realities? Today we'll explore 10 surprisingly affordable farmhouses across rural America. Each comes with real acreage, real potential, and a fascinating reason why buyers keep passing them by. Some of these deals may completely change the way people think about buying land in today's market. The journey begins in Marion, South Carolina, where a classic brick ranch quietly sits on 5 open acres. At first glance, there's nothing about this property that suggests it should still be available. Built in 1980, the home offers nearly 900 square feet of living space, 3 bedrooms, 2.5 bathrooms, and several updates that many buyers hope to find already completed. The roof has been replaced, the bathrooms have been modernized, and the home is ready for immediate occupancy. Outside, a 2-car carport and storage building provide practical utility, while a rear deck overlooks the property's greatest asset. 5 unrestricted acres of land. That word, unrestricted, is becoming increasingly valuable. There is no homeowners association, no lengthy list of rules, no committee deciding whether someone can keep chickens, build a workshop, park a boat, or start a large garden. The land belongs to the owner and can be used accordingly. The location adds even more appeal. Less than a mile away is a public boat landing, making fishing and recreational boating easily accessible. Meanwhile, the small town of Marion, with a population of just over 6,000 residents, offers a traditional southern atmosphere filled with historic buildings, local businesses, and a slower pace of life. Major conveniences remain within reach. Healthcare is available through MUSC Health Marion Medical Center. Interstate 95 connects the area to larger destinations, and Myrtle Beach sits roughly 45 minutes away. So why hasn't this property sold? Ironically, the issue isn't the house, the acreage, or the location. The biggest obstacle is financing. Rising mortgage rates have dramatically increased monthly payments across the country. Many potential buyers who might have purchased property just a few years ago are now hesitating when they see today's borrowing costs. As a result, this 5-acre South Carolina retreat remains available for approximately $295,000, with annual property taxes around just $700. The second property takes the story north to Brattlebin, New York, where 6.5 wooded acres sit near the foothills of the Adirondacks. The home itself offers about 1,500 square feet, 3 bedrooms, and 2 bathrooms. Inside, vaulted ceilings create a sense of openness, while a wood-burning fireplace gives the living room the kind of warmth that matters during long New York winters. There is also an addition attached to the home, giving the future owner flexible space for a family room, office, guest area, or possible 4th bedroom. The land is the true highlight. Mature trees surround the property, creating natural privacy and seasonal beauty. In autumn, the acreage turns golden. In winter, it becomes a quiet retreat near one of the most famous wilderness regions in the United States. Just north lies Adirondack Park, a protected area of roughly 6 million acres. Nearby, Great Sacandaga Lake offers boating, fishing, paddling, and ice fishing when the water freezes. Yet this property remains priced around $252,669. The reason comes down to one label: manufactured home. Even when a manufactured home is well kept, placed on real land, and expanded with a permanent addition, many buyers become cautious. Some lenders also apply stricter rules, which limits the pool of people who can actually finance the purchase. That hesitation helps explain why a home with 6.5 wooded acres near the Adirondacks can remain overlooked, despite offering a mountain lifestyle at a price many buyers would not expect. The third property shifts to the wide-open plains of Littlefield, Texas. This one is not small. It offers nearly 2,800 square feet of living space, 4 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, and almost 10 acres of fenced, unrestricted land. For families needing room, this property delivers far more space than many suburban homes at a much lower price. Inside, many of the costly updates have already been completed. The kitchen has been rebuilt with granite countertops and custom cabinetry. The flooring has been updated. A new HVAC system helps handle the West Texas heat, and a metal roof adds durability in a region known for rough weather. There are 2 living areas, giving the home flexibility for larger families, guests or separate entertainment spaces. One of the strongest features is a private office with built-in shelving and its own separate entrance. That kind of room is valuable for anyone running a small business, meeting clients, or working from home without turning the main house into an office lobby. Outside, the land is ready for livestock, gardening, equipment, or future outbuildings. The property already has city water and sewer service, plus an existing well that is currently not in use. So why is this much house, on this much land, listed around $249? $500? The answer is weather. Littlefield sits in a region where hail and tornado risk can make buyers nervous and insurance companies cautious. For some people, the location alone is enough to make them keep scrolling. But the property has already addressed much of that concern. The metal roof offers better protection against hail than many standard roofing materials. And a storm cellar sits close to the back patio. In other words, the market is discounting this home for a risk that the property has already tried to prepare for. The fourth property takes a completely different approach to country living. Instead of focusing on size or recent renovations, this one sells something increasingly difficult to find in modern America: genuine solitude. Located in Sherman, Maine, the property includes 10 wooded acres and approximately 200 feet of private stream frontage. The sound of running water is not something visitors drive to experience on weekends. Here, it becomes part of everyday life. The house dates back to 1950 and was clearly designed for long northern winters. With nearly 1,800 square feet of living space and 4 bedrooms, it offers enough room for a growing family or guests visiting throughout the year. Inside, there are 2 separate living areas. One can serve as the gathering place for family activities and entertainment, while the other provides a quieter space for reading, conversation, or relaxation. A formal dining room, eat-in kitchen, and convenient main floor laundry make the layout practical as well as comfortable. Large windows allow natural light to fill the home, despite Maine's long winters, while an enclosed front porch provides a perfect place to watch rainstorms roll through the surrounding forest. Then there is the setting. Sherman sits deep within Maine's famous Katahdin region. Nearby are Baxter State Park, Katahdin Woods and Waters National Monument, and Mount Katahdin itself, the highest peak in the state and the northern endpoint of the Appalachian Trail. For outdoor enthusiasts, this location is almost impossible to duplicate at this price point. Fishing, hunting, paddling, hiking, snowmobiling, and wildlife viewing are all part of daily life. The region is also known for exceptionally dark night skies, allowing stargazing that many Americans have never experienced. So why is a 4-bedroom home on 10 acres with a private stream still available for around $229,000? The answer is simple: distant. Many buyers prioritize proximity to major cities and employment centers. Sherman is not a suburb. It is not a commuter town. It is deep rural Maine. For those seeking convenience above all else, that can be a deal breaker. For those seeking peace, privacy, and access to some of the most beautiful wilderness in the eastern United States, it may be exactly the opposite. The fifth property brings the journey to southeastern Oklahoma, where beauty seems to appear around every corner. Located in Moyers, this home sits on 5 acres and immediately creates a different impression from the previous properties. Before visitors even reach the front door, they are greeted by landscaped gardens, flowering plants, mature trees, and a peaceful atmosphere that feels carefully cultivated over many years. Built in 2008, the home is one of the newer properties on this list. That alone removes many of the concerns buyers often have with older rural houses. Inside, the layout feels larger than expected. The open floor plan connects the main living areas, while updated lighting fixtures, quality finishes, and attractive flooring create a polished appearance throughout. The kitchen serves as a central gathering place with a granite island and stainless steel appliances. Nearby, a formal dining area provides room for family meals and entertaining. The primary suite offers features rarely found in homes at this price level. A private bathroom includes a jetted soaking tub, oversized closets, and direct access to outdoor living space through sliding doors. Outside, the property becomes even more impressive. Kimbrough Creek crosses part of the land, while a small pond adds another water feature. Mature trees provide privacy, and there is enough open space for gardening, recreation, or small-scale homesteading. A storm shelter and storage building add practical value, while the surrounding region offers access to hunting, fishing, ATV trails, and nearby lakes. The asking price is approximately $184,900. Considering the home's condition, acreage, creek, pond, and relatively modern construction, many people would expect stronger buyer interest. yet the property remains available because of a technical detail hidden inside the listing. Officially, it is classified as a two-bedroom home. Many online buyers search exclusively for properties with 3 or more bedrooms. As a result, this home often never appears in their search results. A large bonus room could easily function as an additional bedroom, office, or guest space, but many potential buyers never discovered that fact. Sometimes a property isn't overlooked because something is wrong with it. Sometimes it is overlooked because the search filter never gives it a chance. The 6th property takes the conversation beyond square footage and into something far more difficult to measure: memories. Located near Liberty, Kansas, this property spans more than 22 acres and feels less like a piece of real estate and more like a piece of rural Americana. The home itself has a unique history. In 1978, an old schoolhouse was moved onto the property and incorporated into the residence, giving the structure character that simply cannot be reproduced in modern construction. Every wall seems to carry a story. Inside are 3 bedrooms, 2.5 bathrooms, a spacious family room, a separate formal living room, and a bonus room that could easily become a 4th bedroom, home office, or hobby space. The kitchen is large enough for family gatherings, and a brand new roof installed in 2025 removes one of the biggest future expenses a buyer might face. But unlike some of the previous properties, this home is not pretending to be perfect. The sellers openly acknowledge that certain updates are needed. There has been some structural settling, and repair estimates are already available. This is not a move-in and forget-it property. Instead, it is a property for someone willing to invest time, effort, and vision. The reward is the land. More than 22 acres stretch across a landscape of mature timber, maintained lawn areas, and seasonal creeks running along both the northern and southern boundaries. Wildlife regularly moves through neighboring farmland and wooded areas, creating excellent conditions for hunting and outdoor recreation. An older barn and grain bin already stand on the property, providing storage and agricultural possibilities. Trails could be expanded, food plots established, and outdoor spaces customized to match the owner's goals. The asking price is approximately $180. Zilzun. For many buyers, the required improvements become an obstacle. Today's market increasingly favors turnkey homes that need little or no work. Buyers want to unpack boxes and immediately move on with life. This property asks for something different. It asks for imagination. And because imagination is harder to finance than granite countertops and fresh paint, the property continues waiting for the right buyer to recognize what those 22 acres could eventually become. The 7th property may be the most dramatic land deal on the entire list, located in Emelina, Kentucky. It offers something many Americans spend years dreaming about but rarely achieve: ownership of 52 private acres. That number alone deserves a second look. 52 acres of heavily wooded Kentucky mountainside create a landscape large enough for hiking, hunting, ATV riding, homesteading, wildlife observation, or simply disappearing from the noise of modern life. The home itself is modest but functional. Built in 1947, it provides approximately 1,450 square feet of living space, 2 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, hardwood flooring, and updated double-pane windows. There is also a flexible room that can serve as an office, guest room, den, or third sleeping area, depending on the owner's needs. A large covered carport offers storage for vehicles, equipment, tractors, or recreational vehicles. No one is buying this property for luxury finishes. They're buying it for freedom. The surrounding region reinforces that appeal. The property sits near the rugged hills of eastern Kentucky, an area known for outdoor recreation and natural beauty. Nearby trails attract ATV riders from across the country, while local lakes and streams provide fishing opportunities throughout the year. The region is also home to one of the largest elk populations east of the Mississippi River. Wildlife sightings are not unusual here. They are part of everyday life. So why can 52 acres and a home still be purchased for around $149,000? The answer has little to do with the property itself. Instead, it comes down to financing challenges. Properties dominated by land often create difficulties during the appraisal process. Lenders prefer recent comparable sales when determining value, but rural mountain properties with large acreage can be difficult to compare accurately. When appraisals become complicated, financing becomes complicated as well. That limits the number of qualified buyers and reduces competition. As a result, a property that might attract bidding wars in some markets instead sits quietly waiting for someone with cash, alternative financing, or the patience to navigate the lending process. The land never lost its value. the buyer pool simply became smaller. The eighth property brings a different kind of value. Unlike some of the remote mountain retreats and heavily wooded homesteads already explored, this home in Avoca, Iowa offers something many buyers overlook: stability. For more than half a century, the same family called this property home. That kind of ownership history often tells a story. Homes that remain in one family for decades tend to receive consistent care, gradual improvements, and a level of attention that cannot be measured in a real estate listing. Built in 1910, the home contains nearly 20,500 square feet of living space and 4 bedrooms. Inside, much of its original character remains intact. Warm wood cabinetry, built-in storage features, and a traditional fireplace create the feeling of a home that has evolved through generations rather than being redesigned every few years to follow trends. Importantly, the property is still highly functional by modern standards. Natural gas heating provides reliable winter comfort, and while some cosmetic updates could certainly be completed over time, the home appears perfectly livable from day one. Outside, the property includes approximately 4.5 acres. 4 of those acres have been rented to a local farmer, creating a modest income stream while reducing maintenance requirements. Stort is another major advantage. A 3-car garage is accompanied by 3 additional covered parking spaces, creating room for vehicles, equipment, recreational toys, trailers, or workshop projects. The location also works in the property's favor. Avoca is a small Iowa community of roughly 4,700 residents, but Interstate 80 provides direct access to larger employment centers, shopping districts, hospitals, and airports in the Omaha metropolitan area less than an hour away. On paper, this should be one of the easiest properties on the list to sell. So why is it still available? 2 words. As is. Those words appear in the listing and immediately trigger concern among many buyers. They imagine expensive hidden defects, major structural problems, or endless repair costs, yet the available facts tell a different story. Local tax assessments reportedly value the property at approximately $179,000, while the asking price sits around $119,900. That represents a difference of roughly $60,000. In many ways, the phrase "as is" may be doing far more damage to buyer perception than the house itself. The 9th property may offer one of the most interesting opportunities for someone who thinks beyond traditional residential use. Located in Whitehall, Arkansas, this property sits on approximately 3.5 acres and combines 2 features that rarely appear together at such a low price point: a home and visibility. At first glance, the residence appears modest but practical. It offers nearly 1,500 square feet of living space, 2 bedrooms, a bathroom, a comfortable living area, and a kitchen equipped with a breakfast bar. Recent improvements help reduce future maintenance concerns. The property includes a tankless water heater, natural gas service, updated roofing, replacement siding, and a deck that was rebuilt only a few years ago. Most buyers would stop there, but the real opportunity begins at the edge of the property. Unlike many rural homes hidden deep along gravel roads, this property enjoys direct highway frontage. Thousands of passing vehicles create visibility that many small businesses spend significant money trying to obtain. That opens possibilities: a workshop, a landscaping business, a small retail operation, a service company, or simply a highly visible location with room for future expansion. The surrounding community strengthens the appeal. Whitehall is known as one of the more economically stable small towns in Arkansas and benefits from its proximity to larger employment centers. Little Rock is reachable in roughly 40 minutes, allowing residents to maintain access to urban conveniences while enjoying a more rural lifestyle. The asking price is approximately $89,900. So why is something this affordable still available? Because it falls directly between 2 different groups of buyers. Residential buyers often see highway traffic and immediately move on to quieter properties. Commercial-minded buyers rarely search residential listings when looking for business locations. As a result, each group overlooks the property for different reasons. The opportunity exists in the gap between those 2 perspectives. For the buyer who sees both the home and the business potential, the property may offer far more value than its price suggests. The final property on this list is also the least expensive, and perhaps the most misunderstood. Located in Weir, Mississippi, this modest brick home sits in a small rural community where life moves at a slower pace and affordability still exists in ways many Americans no longer believe possible. Built in 1965, the house offers approximately 200 square feet of living space with 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, A spacious kitchen, dedicated laundry area, and an additional bonus room that could become a home office, hobby room, or guest space. A covered front porch overlooks the quiet neighborhood, creating the kind of simple outdoor living space that has nearly disappeared from many modern developments. The home does need cosmetic updating. Fresh paint, modern finishes, and some aesthetic improvements would undoubtedly increase its appeal. But beneath those cosmetic issues lies something many investors actively search for. Income. The property already has a paying tenant in place. Instead of immediately generating expenses, the home begins producing revenue from day one. For investors, that alone makes the listing worth a closer look. Yet the house is only part of the package. The sale includes 5 separate lots. That creates possibilities far beyond a single-family residence. Future expansion, additional structures, gardening projects, recreational space, or even new housing development become realistic options depending on local regulations and the owner's goals. The surrounding region offers access to outdoor recreation, including fishing, hiking, and nearby forest areas. Local schools are considered strong relative to the region, and property taxes remain among the lowest in the state. So why is this property still sitting on the market? The answer surprises many people. It's simply too inexpensive. Most buyers assume financing becomes easier as prices decrease. In reality, extremely low-priced properties can create the opposite problem. Many lenders have little interest in originating very small mortgages because the administrative work remains similar while profits become significantly smaller. Without easy financing, the buyer pool shrinks dramatically. Suddenly, a home that could appeal to first-time buyers, retirees, or investors becomes limited primarily to cash buyers and specialized lenders. The property itself didn't become less attractive. The financing options became less available. That is how a brick home with an existing tenant, multiple lots, and future potential can still be listed for approximately $44,999 in 2026. After examining all 10 properties, a clear pattern begins to emerge. None of these homes are perfect. Some sit far from major cities. Some require updates. Others face financing challenges, unusual classifications, weather concerns, or simple marketing disadvantages. But none of them reveal the disaster many buyers assume must exist. In fact, most represent something increasingly rare in today's housing market: the opportunity to own meaningful acreage without spending a fortune. 5 acres in South Carolina, 6.5 wooded acres in New York, 10 acres in Texas, a private stream in Maine, a creek and pond in Oklahoma, 22 acres in Kansas, 52 acres in Kentucky, historic character in Iowa, business potential in Arkansas, and an income-producing property in Mississippi. Each one remains available for a different reason. Yet together, they reveal an important truth. The best opportunities are not always hidden. Sometimes they are sitting in plain sight while everyone else scrolls past. Markets often reward patience. They reward people willing to look beyond headlines, beyond assumptions, and beyond the first impression created by a listing description. That doesn't mean every property on this list is the right choice, but it does mean there are still affordable paths to land ownership for those willing to do their homework and keep an open mind. Now the question becomes yours. Which of these properties would you choose? Would it be the mountain views of New York, the vast Kentucky acreage, the private stream in Maine, or the income-producing opportunity in Mississippi? Let everyone know in the comments below. And if you enjoy discovering unique rural properties, hidden real estate opportunities, and affordable homes that most buyers overlook, be sure to subscribe and join the community. Thank you for watching, and until next time, keep exploring, keep dreaming, and keep searching for opportunities where others failed to look.